Hello everyone, Blauaki Cove here, and today I'm happy to announce that 6.2 has now been released. There's so much in this release. It's our biggest release ever, so we implore you to watch this whole video to see everything that we've added. But of course, we can't go over everything, so we also attach the release notes down below. So first up is one of our biggest features that we've been working on for months, close to a year, is our overlay system. So if we go to overlays, you'll see that you can add a new overlay. I'm gonna name this video. And in my overlay resolution, I want it to be 1080p. Then you'll be brought to the overlay window. There's so much in here. I can add a layer for alerts. I can add the emote box. I can set up general things like text, image, audio, video, slideshows, even shapes, goals, timers, gradient lights. Now, gradient lights is one, you may be familiar with, except it was our old overlay system. So if I go to gradient lights, I can create a virtual light, which is something we'll talk about in the future. I can go to gradient and I can set up another overlay light. And now if I emulate this virtual light, you'll see the red here and green here. So as you see, this is our gradient overlay that we used to have. We are trying to get rid of the legacy overlay and go into our full overlay system. So if you need to replace that overlay system, we have a gradient light here. Of course, there's much more like alerts, where we have over 90 plus different alerts that we support. It will go into your connection, so it'll only bring in alerts that you have connected, but pretty much everything you can think of we have. You could even set up a Twitter overlay if you wanted to when you get a new follower or a like or something like that. So to quickly set up your different alert events, just go to manage alerts and then select the ones that you want to show. Then you'll go to these different tabs, and that's what will show when you get that alert. You could change, of course, your image and video. You can change your audio, set up the layout, push the text up or down, have it overlaying each other. You could change up the text style, and you could even change the different animations. And then you can add variations as well over here. So I can set my different, variations like equal number. And now this one will trigger when it happens. So I have my base alert and I have my variation alert. But yeah, so much you can do inside of these overlays. So you can set up, different emote boxes for anytime, someone says an emote. You can set up labels that we have for pretty much every site, from Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, everything we have here. We have goals, and in HUD Effects we'll talk a little more about later on, but it's basically a way for you to show something on your screen while you're playing a game. It happens on your physical screen. It's not on OBS. You'll normally set up two different overlays, one for your HUD and one for your regular overlays that's going to show on OBS. Your HUD is going to show up directly on your screen. So if you want a scary pop-up to show, you can have a HUD overlay for that, and it'll trigger, based on chat or alerts. We're gonna have multiple videos for overlays, so make sure you check out the description to find those links, and then subscribe to us to make sure you get the notifications when we release them, because there's so much in store here. We even have a new event list system where you can collect all of your different things that are happening on your stream with a nice theme setup as well. So if I go to event list settings, manage event, I can change my theme here. Let's say I want the boxy theme. And I could even change my color for each individual one as well. Save theme, and now I have a new event list set up. Let's say I only want to show my latest 3 events or 4 events. Show my alert icon, user avatar, platform icon. And then even for fonts, you can set up any of the different fonts that we have, but also you can install fonts on your computer and then just type it in here of the font name that you have installed. So if I go to font settings right here, I'll see my available fonts. So let's say this one. So there's my bond script font. It just showed up. But we also have ones that's included, like impact, of course. And you get the idea. And before we leave overlays, let's also talk about the different things like chat box, the credits to show you different events that happen. Of course, you can set these all up to different. So let's say I had an overlay for just my credits when stream ends. I could have a Lumia trigger that when my stream is over, it triggers this overlay alert. And I get to see everyone who, shared my stream, subscribed, followed, and different things like that. We have different themes as well. So if you want that classic movie type of credits, we have that. We have the Star Wars OG credits. We have a, plain receipt type of clean credits. We have a scary credits where you have a background as well as audio playing. And then we have our aperture. You had to put aperture in there. But you can hear the song playing as well. If you don't want the song to play, you can either remove the audio right here, or you could change the audio, or you can just say, don't play audio. And then the audio won't play. Now, of course, get creative. You could still set up your different fonts and stuff like that as well. So I can change my font to something like that. I can change my different colors. Let's say I want it to be pink. I could set my background color. Let's say I wanted a purple background or bluish. I could even add some CSS, and that CSS will be scoped for just this layer, so it won't override to other layers. And then we have our manual options where you can set things up. I can, make this align left to canvas, the center, on top, or I can make it fill the whole canvas. So your credits most likely will want to be the full screen anyway. So this little button will make it completely fill the screen. Anyway, I'm going too long into overlays. I'm extremely excited about it. That's why. We even have a shout out. So you can set up a shout out layer. And now anytime someone shouts out in stream, I can put a Twitch shout out.
Orange.
And then it happens.
This is just
you can turn off all audio inside of the editor as well. So let's say I'm ready for this overlay. It's kind of ugly, but let's say I'm ready for it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back to Lumiastream. I'm going to go to overlays. Then that new video one I just created, I'm going to say open in OBS. I'm going to select my OBS scene to add it to. I'm gonna say camera, and then I can press add, or I could just copy link. Like, let's say I'm not using OBS, like I'm using XSplit. I can copy that link and just paste it into OBS as well. But we have an automatic option where you can add it to any of your different scenes. So I add it right here, and then boom, overrides my video. Now, as I mentioned, you can also use a HUD. So I have this other overlay that just has two light bulbs over here. So I'm going to open as HUD. I'm going to select the screen that I want to open on. So let's say I want it on this screen too. And then I can set up my hotkey as well. Automatically it sets as Alt+L to easily hide or show the HUD. And then I can set up my opacity also. So let's say I don't want it to be full 1 opacity. I'm going to do 0.8 open. And now my light bulb shows up here, and it shows up over everything. So this is over my window. I can set it up over a real game that I'm playing. And let me just show you a quick example of how to have like an overlay video show up. So we have our built-in HUD videos, which is going to take up the full screen. I can play a video here, save. I can go to Lumiastream commands, create a command, or edit one. I'm going to go to overlay actions, and I'm going to go to send HUD effect. These are ones that we already have built into Lumia. So I could do bat attack, test action. And this is showing on my real screen, by the way, not just the editor. This is the editor over here. This is my actual screen. It's crazy. And of course you can create your own as well. So we don't have a way to create it with HUD effect, but you can create a simple video content. So I can say, let me create a video layer. So I'm going to create a video layer. I'm going to go to general video. Then I'm going to go to video settings, change video. Let's just select this one. I'm going to make sure this is hidden by default. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to press save. So now back in Lumia, let's press refresh overlay settings, select our overlay, and then the video was named video 5. I'm going to set layer visibility. So I have HUD man and then video 5, and I'm going to set to on. And then when the command is over, I'm going to set it back to off. I'm just going to name this show. I don't want my lights to change, and I want this to skip the queue because I want this to happen immediately. So I'm going to press apply, refresh. And now if I go to my chat, I'm going to press ! show. And then my overlay shows this is, as mentioned, this is directly on my screen. So that command was only 4 seconds, but you want to time it up to your video duration. So I could either move this slider or I could just type in here. So let's say 10.5 seconds, refresh. And I don't even have to go back to that screen. I can either go on Twitch or I could just put exclamation point anywhere within the app and just put exclamation point show. And this will send it to actual Twitch chat. So then my overlay HUD shows. So I can close my HUD by just going to shortcuts, and I can either do toggle HUD or I can go to my tray bar and completely close the HUD by just right clicking the Lumia logo and pressing close HUD. Okay, enough of overlays. Now to talk about our remaining features. As mentioned earlier, there's a lot to talk about overlays. So check out all of our videos that has to do with overlays down below, and let's move on. So just added was OBS 28 support as well. So if I go to OBS, this is my OBS 28.0.3. This is, working with Lumiastream. As you've seen, I just added my video layer and it's full support. It's also WebSocket 5, not WebSocket 4. If you still need to support WebSocket 4, then you need to download the OBS Compat tool, but we have a video of how to do that down below as well. But we implore you to try to check out OBS 28. There's so much in here. So if you need to connect to OBS 28, just go to connections, add new connection, OBS, and it's the same place as OBS 27 was. But instead, I'm going to do version, and I'm going to select version WebSockets 5, which is OBS 28 plus. And then I'm going to just put in my port and my password and press connect. If you're on, still OBS 27 and you need WebSockets 4.9, then you'll still select that, but you won't get these features that I'm about to mention. So if you can, upgrade to OBS 28. So press connect, and then you'll be connected. Now here's what we added with OBS 28. If we go to commands, add command, OBS, you'll see all of these different types we have. We have things like take a screenshot of my camera. I can take a screenshot and it'll be uploaded to my pictures folder. I can trigger a hotkey by either name or by key sequence. So if I want a hotkey, backspace with shift pressed, then I can do that. I can save my replay buffer. If I have that going, I can start a record. I can set my source text and different things like that. We have a video for OBS down below, but what I really want to show you, if you go to connections and set up Twitter or Discord with OBS inside of Lumia, I can go back to my command. I can go to Twitter. I can go to something like send tweet with media. And I'm going to say, this is from the 6.2 tutorial. And now if you read this description, it says you can also use screenshot or OBS screenshot to send a screenshot as well, or OBS replay to send your replay buffer, which is ridiculous. But Twitter only supports things like MP4. So you can use MKV. I record in MP4, so that's, okay for me. But for someone like you, if you record in MKV, then you may have to do some trickery there. But let's say I wanted to upload my replay buffer, right? I'm going to do OBS _ replay. I'm going to write the brackets around here. I could also just go here and search for OBS to see what I have. And I'll see OBS replay right here. If I click it, it'll auto fill it in. And then if this is a longer video, if your replay buffer is like longer than, let's say, 30 seconds, you may want to click this as well. Or it's safe to just always click it if you need to. And now if I want to add this action, I'm going to name this tweet for me. I don't want any light change, and I want this to skip the queue because I want this to trigger immediately. Like, let's say something crazy happened within game, similar to Twitch clips, but you can do this on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Trovo, and Glimesh. So I'll press apply, refresh. And now if I went to Twitter and chatted, tweet me, or I set up, let's say, a Twitch point to tweet me, or let's say I had it in an alert when I get a subscriber, I can do that. I can do tweet me. And then when it finishes uploading, it'll say Twitter tweet sent. If I refresh my page, you'll see my tweet that I just recorded. Crazy. I can also do something like commands. Let me just edit my tweet for me command. I'm going to go to Twitter, edit. And instead of my replay, let's just say I wanted a screenshot. So I'm going to delete this, press this variables icon, and I'm just going to go to OBS screenshot. So by default, it'll just take a screenshot of your default scene. So if I press test action, you'll see that on Twitter, it just took a screenshot of my default scene. But I could also set up a scene that, you know, isn't my default, that's not on at the moment. So I can put equal camera, and then I can press test action, name it exactly as you have it in OBS, and then it'll work. So if I refresh again, you'll see similar screenshot, but it's different, trust me. Follow us on Twitter also, not Lumiastream retweets, but at Lumiastream if you aren't already. Okay, we've added a lot more to OBS as well, but that's, you know, going to be in a different tutorial. So check out that video as well. So now we're going to rush through these remaining features. So like TikTok live, we've added, you'll just go to TikTok and you'll put in your username. It's recommended just use lowercase username without an @ but we'll try to lowercase it anyway, and we'll remove the @ And if you have TikTok connected, then you'll have a follower alert, a subscriber alert, gift, like, share, stream, and gift currently uses the diamond count for variation. So if you're trying to set up a variation, we have 2 variations. We have condition equal to value, which just means the gift name. So I can say cat if that was my gift, or I can say equal to number, which is the diamond count, or greater than or equal to number, which is the diamond count. For everything else, it's pretty much, you know, self-explanatory. We don't really have any variations for them. Most of them are just random. So next integration we have is a StreamerBot integration. Hello. So you'll have the tutorial to set up StreamerBot over here. Once you connect, you can go to servers and clients. I can press auto start server, and then press connect. And then just like that, I'm connected. So I have one action here just called Lumia Red, which if I trigger it, let's say I wanted to add another action, TTS. Let's say I just wanted to play a sound. So I have my action set up in StreamerBot. Now I'll just go to a command or an alert. I'll add a command and I'll see a StreamerBot tab, and I can just refresh my StreamerBot settings because I just added that command. TTS, test action, then it'll play in StreamerBot. You can also pass arguments as well. So this is using JSON. So you have to do something like this where you'll do, say, my var, and I'll put a colon, and then I'll say my variable. So if I wanted to use a Lumia variable, I'll select that. Let's say I wanted the username of whoever's triggering this. That has to be up here. Then it has to be in string as well. So quotes. And then if I test this action out, if I had a variable over here in StreamerBot, then I can use that variable to do whatever I need to do. We have a video on StreamerBot as well. Next up is our Govee LAN control. So if I go to Govee, you'll see 3 different Govee types at the moment. So you'll see Govee Cloud, Govee LAN, and Govee Cloud plugs. So Govee Cloud is the Govee that we used to have that has the rate limited, where you can't send so many colors to your lights at once. I think the limit is 10 changes per minute, which means all of your lights can't change more than 10 times per minute. So if you have 5 different lights, that's only 2 changes per minute. But now we have Govee LAN. We have a video for this as well. You can set up LAN control for certain models of your different lights. They only support a few of their models at the moment, but apparently they're adding more as time goes on. So you can set up your Govee LAN, and now it'll be pretty much as fast as your other local controlled lights. It works extremely well. We've been testing it out all throughout the beta. You can't even tell which one is Govee anymore back here when I change these lights. We also have infrared control with Broadlink. So if I go to Broadlink, I can connect, and I can connect up my Broadlink device, and then I can do cool things. See my library, RR library. I can trigger any of these keys within a command or an alert. And I can even have my setup folder over here. So if I wanted my light to turn blue, then I can do that. If I want a green, this is infrared. This is my Broadlink device over here, then the infrared galaxy light right here. We have Arduino serial control. We have a new editable dashboard. So all of these things can be changed around. You can choose to, remove some of them. You can manage your widgets and add more things, like let's say I wanted shortcuts to be up here as well in Control Center, then I can do that. You'll see it right here. You can have your event list, so you can see everything that's happening within Lumia. It shows the date, who did it, and you can even replay it as well. So if I want to replay the subscriber alert, I can. And you'll see it show back up in the queue. And speaking of event lists, if you go over here to the side, you can see all of your different events that you've ever added. Since 6.2, tests will not show up here. Only live events will show up here. It has to be a real event. Even testing from Streamlabs and Stream Elements will not work here. It will still show up in your queue, but it won't show up in event lists. We have new folders for commands. As you just seen, I have my infrared folder and I set up all of my commands in that folder so that it doesn't show up inside of my regular list. You can add new folders, of course. Then you can move commands into your folders. So now that one just disappeared because it's showing up here. You can also bulk edit. So if I had all of these commands, let's say I selected a few, then I wanted to select all of them inside of my folder, I can press edit here. And now let's say I wanted all of them to be no light change and then skip queue, which they already are. But let's say I wanted to set that up, or let's say I wanted to change the duration to 6.7. So I press apply. Let's unselect them and just go edit one to see if it changed. And as you see, 6.7, no light change, skip queue. You also may be looking for chatbot. We've moved chatbot. It's no longer in the main dashboard. It's under commands, chatbot commands. And this is for a good reason. If you want to turn off chatbot or turn it on, you'll go to global settings and turn it on right here. This is because we have new chatbot commands that are default built into Lumia. In the future, you'll be able to add your own chatbot commands that only triggers chatbot messages. But for now, it's only our pre-built ones. So we have a SO command, which is just a shout out, but it's way more than just a shout out, because not only does it send to your chat, it also shows it in your overlay. So if I go to overlays again, sorry about that, add new overlay, let's call this SO. Then I'll want to create a shout out layer. So I could just search right here to figure out where it's at. It's under streaming tools, shout out and clips. And then let's say I want it to be right up here. I can set up my shout out settings like the max video time. I can set up the volume, whether to play the audio or not. I'm not going to play the audio, but I'm going to do save. I'm going to close out of here and I'm going to open up this shout out as a HUD just so you can see. So now the HUD is open. You can't see it because the layer is hidden at the moment. But if I go back to commands, chatbot commands, edit, I can set up who I want to trigger. So I can either shout out the streamer, which is myself. I can say from target tagged, which just means like at Lumiastream or SO at Sam Wilson, or I could just do it from sender. So let's say every time someone subscribes, I want to shout out that sender. So I will set it up right here. But for now, let's just shout out myself just so it's easier for me to test. I can get a random clip. I can say the max time for the clip. So I don't want a max time at the moment. Let's just make it 90 seconds. The name of what you want it to be called in chat. So I just have SO. And then I don't want any light change. And then for chatbot, it will say, let's give a big shout out to Clip Target username. They were last seen playing Clip Target category. Make sure to check them out at Clip Target channel. There's more variables you can use as well. So you'll see everything clip underscore you can use in here. So I can say the clip's title, the user ID, the avatar, which maybe, use to send over to your overlays. So much in here. Let's give it a try. I'll just put !SO. Since it's me, the streamer, I don't have to put an @ username. So I'll press SO. Then you'll see my shout out clip showing right here. And if I want a different video, let's just do another SO. Then I'll play a different video for my clips. And yeah, you get the idea. Of course, if you wanted to shout out someone, just go back over to chatbot commands. Let me hide this for now. And then go to SO again. And then instead of shout out target streamer, let's say from target tagged. I'll press apply, refresh, bring the HUD back up. And now I can do something like SO at Sam Wilson TV. And now, you know, Sam Wilson will be shouted out. And it says, let's give a big shout out to Sam Wilson TV. They were last seen playing Just Chatting. Make sure to check them out at twitch.tv Sam Wilson TV. We've added new YouTube alerts that can be worked offline or online. So your different subscriber / member alerts will always work no matter what, as long as you have Lumia on and stream mode on. There was a major overhaul to Trovo. We've cleaned up so much and added so much. We have different alerts like channel join, follower, subscriber, gift subscriptions, even raids. We have a bunch of variables for Trovo. So if I go to variables and look up Trovo, you'll see all the different Trovo variables. And each alert has their own variables as well, of course. The overlay can use completely Trovo now. So you can set up all of your different Trovo alerts, your last subscribers, your session chat count, last people who donated, different things like that. WLED has also received a major overhaul. We now have auto discovery for WLED. We have individual studio themes. And we fixed all of the major bugs that we found. You can also filter words within Lumiastream. So if something gets bypassed through Twitch, or let's say you're streaming on YouTube and Facebook or Trovo where you can't have a filter, then you can filter words through Lumiastream. So if I go to settings, filter words, I can either pull my Twitch block terms, or I can just add mine in here. So I can say, oh, not here. This is what the word is going to be replaced with. So if you don't want it to be replaced with anything, just leave that blank. Then I can just say something like, let's say don't. Let's say don't is a ban word. So now, anytime someone says don't in chat, Lumiastream won't receive it. So if I had a chat match for everything that someone says, let's say I wanted to repeat it within chatbot, I'll just put exclamation. I'll just put message here. I'll say repeat message. No light change and skip queue. So now if in chat I said something like, wow, I don't want to go to the store, I'll press enter. And now the Lumiastream bot said repeat, wow, I want to go to the store, because it took out the don't. We also have currency and exchange rates. If you go back to settings and then go to general, you'll see currency. There's currency right here. So you can select your default currency and you can choose to auto convert currency. So if you have some different donation platforms that are receiving different currencies, let's say Stream Elements was receiving British pound, but in Lumia you wanted to display as USD. We take the current foreign exchange rate, exchange it from British pound to USD, and then display it as USD within Lumia. We're the only app that I know that's doing this. So this is major. So if you want to keep all of your different platforms that you receive any money from and keep it contained within the same currency rate, you can do that here. And you can set up your alerts to use that exchange rate as well. And of course, you could reset your donations, which is going to reset all of your different variables that we have. So donation, you'll see donation count, session donation, amount currency, the donation count, total donation, and so on and so forth. So we keep track of all of that now, and you could display this within the overlay or your alerts or anything else. Custom code has received a major overhaul as well. So if I go to custom JavaScript, you'll see a bunch of different things. I can get lights, which will get all of my current lights. I can set a color of a light. So let's say I can send a color to a certain light or to all my lights directly through custom code. So I don't have to set up a command for this. So say I wanted to create my own animation. I can use my set timeouts here and my intervals and different things like that, and just set up, you know, whatever I want to. So I have a set interval. let's say I wanted to do every second. I can set up an interval here to set up a different, animation. I can do anything else like that through all custom code. So you don't have to worry about Lumiastream if you don't want to anymore. We also have things like send in raw OBS JSON, where we have an example for you built in. We have the ability to play the sound, which is play audio, and select your location. You could even wait for audio to stop before the audio is done. So I could say await, play audio. Then when the audio is over, I can run the rest of my code or command. And same with TTS. We can even await on TTS now. So I can do await TTS, my message. And then after the TTS is done, it can move on with the command or the code. Last remaining things, we received a major update to Twitch subscriptions and gift subs. We've also planned for in the future to have a separate alert for gift subs to make things a lot simpler. But all of your different resubs and gift subs and subscriptions should work as intended now for all of your different variations. No longer will resubs be treated as a gift or your gift amount. Gift amount would actually be treated as gift amount. And in an event list, your gift subs will be displayed separately as well. And of course, as usual, if you wanted to treat all of your gift subs as separate alerts, just uncheck this box and then they'll all be separate alerts as well. And last but not least, we've updated our Stream Deck and Touch Portal plugins. So make sure you download those. The descriptions will be down in the description down below. And this is not it. This is literally just a brush of what we've added. We will have a live stream, so make sure you check that out. We will have the date on our Twitter, so follow us there. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what else you'll like to see, and have a luminous day.